Good morning, all my beautiful and wonderful and gloriously, amazingly love-filled, special human beings. I've got my morning peppermint tea, and the Lord, or whoever it is, has put this into my heart, and so I'm going to share it with you now. And it's about being heard. And because, well, this is what's come to me, that many of us are very hurt. We're not hurt physically, although some have been hurt physically, but many of us are emotionally very hurt. And you might be one who, we're all hurt some way or the other, because that's life, but some of us are extremely hurt, and some of us, well, you might be one of the ones who are very hurt right now in your life, and you might also be someone who can see that people around you, maybe one or several people around you, are very hurt. And we've been talking about living in the ego and living in the spirit, and it can sound really simple, that either you're in the ego or you're in the spirit. And you do get to a point where you can see it's very clear, and that you really feel you get the power to move from one to the other. You get, that's what happens, we grow. But when we're still in the state of being very hurt, it's not so simple. And I'll just show you the image I got this morning. See, I've just found some different things. In our spirit, as I've said before, and when we are born, some of us do carry a lot of hurt with us when we're born, but most of us have this feeling of being very beautiful and knowing how beautiful we are on a very deep level. So you could use this flower as an image of of who we are, and this is this is who we are. This very beautiful, special being that just emanates so much greatness and wonder, and is unhurt. And I've got this picture here of flowers from our garden. I'll use them instead. The bees are in there, and then life happens to us, and we start getting hurt. And for most of us, we close in, and for some of us, we close in severely until we're completely locked inside ourselves. And I was sort of shown this image that here comes the hurt. It's sort of rough wool from the sheep, and here we are, and the first hurt comes, and then the second hurt comes, and then the third hurt comes, and we just keep getting squashed in like this. See if I can do it as I saw it. I have to get this inner picture God gives me. I won't waste too much of my beautiful precious wool. So this becomes more or less who we are from what we were before, and what we do in life, our sort of activity, or our, what can you say, the way we use ourselves in life is with these arms, and we do a bit of this, and we do a bit of that, we do a bit of this, and we do a bit of that. but our true being is stuck in here. And obviously we're in huge pain. But see, as I've said before, you can be in so much pain that you don't know. And what we're doing here is we're doing things not with our self. So it's not really authentic what we're doing, but we do it. We do things. We go to work, or we're with our family, or we do all our practical things, and we relate to other people with this. But inside is actually who we really are. And I have two little examples of people that I know who have, like, for instance, my father. Let's get my tea. My father, who is dead now, and was a lovely man, and he was very hurt. And I said to him once, I think I've mentioned this, I'll say it again, because he lived in Australia and I was living in here most of the years, and he would never write a very emotional letter. Like, he'd never say anything sort of really sort of that came from his inner self, just casual things that were sort of warming, or there was not much of that at all. It was usually not that he wrote many letters, he wrote very few letters, but it was always something practical. And one day I asked him, why don't you write something a little bit more sort of emotional? And he said, because if I open up my emotions, I'll never stop crying. So he decided that this was the way he had to. He could not survive any other way, because the hurt was so bad that he had to he had to hold it in. So that was his choice, and I thought it was very beautiful because it was honest. And through that, of course, that honesty, he could have said, "Oh, don't be stupid, don't be silly," and he would have been just pushing me away. But he was actually telling me how he felt and what he had decided, and that was very beautiful. So through all this hurt, his true being was shining, and most of us, it does shine out, our true being, because it's there, and it can never be completely closed in. Another person said to me, when I was 2, I realized that the love I was looking for would never come, so I gave up. And so that's what often happens, that when we get hurt like this, and some of us do this, that we just don't let out the emotions, the hurt. We just keep closing it in because it's so painful. See, that person who said that realized that waiting for this love that he was expecting as a little kid that never came was so painful that it's better to stop waiting, and so you just close off your heart. And of course that has a huge impact on your life and who you become and what you do. And generally speaking, basically, you become unauthentic. Because you've closed away who you are, you're not yourself. And so that's what's called being grabbed by the ego. That's the case for people who don't do this. And often it's women. It's easier for women to get the hurt out, to scream it out or cry it out, and so they get relieved, and the closed in, the hurt doesn't become so intense. But it's not always like that for women. So that's what is best, that during our life that we can let out the pain and the hurt, let out what we feel, so that we don't get so closed in. But some of us are like that, and that's just a fact, and it is part of the reality of the world right now. And for those of us who are in that pain, well, I think one beautiful thing is that nature is there, and I think that's what what really is happening, that when people have this in this very, very painful state, there will be glimpses of joy, and often they come from nature, from an animal or the face of an animal or something that just gives them this beautiful feeling inside. And it's really, you can say it in many ways, it's God calling you to start to move onto a new path and release your pain. But at least it's a comfort, it's a starting point. So if you are in this very painful state and you do get these glimpses, and know that this is it's love calling you, and that there is hope. So all this pain can one day, it won't for everyone, because some people just don't want to release it, but for many, many of us, it will unravel, and you can let go of it. And especially if more and more people around you have gone through this and have released all the old pain and let their true selves come out, this can happen to you. So there is hope. And so that was just something I felt I wanted to say, that if you are inspired, if there's things that just make you very joyful and feel really good in just tiny little glimpses, it's just a sign that there's hope, and that you are beautiful, and that you are there is a life for you where you have released the pain. It's waiting for you, and there's no rush, because it takes time to release old pain. But every time, the more you search for this state of being, and you go into these, you let yourself sit at the sun, looking at the sunset, or listening to the bird, being with your dog a little bit longer, and just feeling the joy, the stronger you will be, and the quicker you will be able to see, oh, okay, right, the reason why I've been not feeling good for so long is that I have held on to a lot of pain, and I can start to release this, and life will be completely different. And that is really letting go of the ego and stepping into the spirit. But some of us in a lot of pain need help, and for those of us who have not got this, are not in this very painful state, we will need to be helpers for these people. And the question is, how do you help these people? And I've been thinking of Jesus, what he said, so many, I mean, it's just magic what he says. And and the first thing we need to do is to step away from these people, to build our own strength. Because these people who are in, like if you're one of these people who feel that you've released a lot of your pain and you have really moved forward, and your life is looking very bright and beautiful in many ways. It won't be perfect, because it never is, and that there are people around you who are in a lot of pain and very stuck. You might have to step away from them for a while to build your strength, and to really get rooted in love, so you just really feel strong. And then God, or whoever you believe in, will show you which people you need to start, or would be lovely to start to help, and you're probably meant to help, and it will come naturally to you. And what I sense in my life is that really it's just being there, seeing their pain and being there. And I'm probably going to learn more. I'm definitely going to learn more the next days and weeks and the rest of my life. But just as I see it right now, it's very much to just be there and not be afraid of their pain. And when you feel it's too much, the energy is too intense, step away. So make sure you have a quiet place where you can be and know that you are being helped so that you can help them. And the actual helping, when it comes in words, is really to make them, how can I say it? It's not really to go into depth with anything, but just to listen to them and maybe ask something about what they're doing at the moment. Just ask them how's it going, and because often these people cannot talk about deeper things. They are completely on the practical level or in the intellect, and so it's a matter of picking something that has a little bit of depth in it. But it's a really difficult task, because you don't want to be the saver. I mean, the one who's or the constant comforter, because so I'm just sort of learning this very sort of I don't know much about this, but I just sense this, that what I'm seeing now is that you feel like just comforting the person or pushing the person away, but really to make that person grow is to actually step aside. And Jesus also said that you who make yourself great will be humbled, you will be pushed down. So it's and you who are humble will be lifted. So it's a matter of actually probably mostly being very quiet and just being there, so that they can relax more. Because people who are in a lot of pain are very tense. It's just really horrific to be where they are, and so you don't want to throw a lot of pity onto them, and there's many things that are not good to do, because that will just keep them there, so that you're the goodie and they're the baddie, or you're the one who knows everything and who can help them, and they're the ones who need the help, and that can keep them stuck still. So it's really being, just being, and God's peace and love and all the good things will just shine through you without you having to say very much. So I think that's very, very beautiful. It's just your presence that will help them heal. So that was just, I don't know if you could use any of this, but it was just what was very strongly on my heart this morning, and it sort of came to me that also it's quite shocking. I mean, that's what I realized, that I'm quite shocked by the amount of pain that some people are in. It's mind-boggling. It's just unbelievable. And these people cannot move on their own. It's impossible. I mean, they need helpers. And so some of us will be their helpers. And it might just be smiling to someone in the street. You just don't know. But when you feel a calling to do something, to be there for someone, even no matter how small it is, do it, because the beautiful thing is also that when you do things for others, you're blessed yourself. So you're just given more strength and more good things. So you're never going to waste yourself. If you, as it also says in the Bible, give from your heart and no more. So just give what you feel is natural and feels good and no more. So it can be really, really, really simple. And as I said, just being there for a little while, maybe 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and just going away again. So, and the peace, when you're peaceful and you feel good inside, you're emanating very, very, very strong healing energy to these people. So and all the pain just it withers away in all that peace and love. So I think that's quite amazing for me to just see that this morning, that love can be completely without words. It's just a state you're in, and it's so powerful. So, as they say, the language of God is silence, and anything else is inferior. So that's yeah, it's good stuff. So anyway, this was just this little video here, and I hope that that you're well, and I hope that I pray for you that you feel the light shining where you are, no matter where you are, no matter what's happening in your life. You feel the goodness and joy and love just taking up more and more space in your life. So, see you soon.